So, what do you believe people are not being realistic about?
Their lives as a whole.
In general.
Just in general, their lives.
I'll even go further. Who they are.
Who they
At the core.
are at the core of themselves.
Seriously, I feel like that's the major factor in people being able to be honest with each other, is because they have not yet realized how to be honest with themselves.
Yeah.
Agreed.
To say what it is that they want, to say what it is that they like, things that they'll put up with. They don't want to accept that, to be truthful with other people.
And I have to say, I had plenty of masks that I would wear when my kids were growing up. I didn't smoke cigarettes in front of them, though I was a smoker. I didn't smoke pot around them or in front of them, though I was a pot smoker. I didn't curse. The first time I cursed in front of my 10 and 11-year-old kids, one of my 16-year-old employees walked over to the hand soap dispenser, went like this, and came right up to me and slapped it in my face, put it in my mouth, and I said, that was the smartest thing I've ever seen anybody do.
Crazy. Yes.
She didn't get fired.
I wish I was there.
Kim Pease, you know who you are, and you know you're out there, and you know you did that, and you know that I told you that was brilliant, because I opened my mouth and I said the F-bomb in front of my little kids, and you reacted in the right way.
Well, I have to admit,
From my world.
I have to admit that in growing up a very strict household, and I'm glad I had those constraints, because it made me feel as though my parents really cared. Like if they weren't like choking me like get back in the house, then I probably wouldn't feel that to this day. I probably wouldn't really understand what it took. Oddly enough, as an adult, and this could probably be maybe society-wise, or maybe I know my parents, I don't curse in front of my mother, but my father. F this, like I could totally be.
And just the opposite. My mom, I could curse in front of, but my dad, like until he got sick at an older age and started being on all kinds of meds and chemos and this and that, what in the hell was the worst thing that ever came out of his mouth?
Right.
My entire 18 years of life, and at 30-ish, I end up around him, 35, and he's in chemo treatment, and he's cursing up a storm. And he's screaming at my mom, and he's using the C word and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, he really
and
got it.
I'm like, who is this person?
Who is this?
Where did this come from? I've never heard him curse a minute in his life. But then I found out he was on Xanax.
Okay. And that alters.
And I said, hey, wait a
senses.
second, you need to get off Xanax and possibly get on Valium, because this might be affecting your personality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like I have always been the honest kid.
So you're the odd breakout child. How many
I was a
siblings do you
liar
have?
as a little kid. I didn't learn honesty till I grew
funny.
up.
Now let me tell you, this is what's funny. Because all of the other, I don't really have a lot of siblings, but I have a big family that I have a lot of cousins and things like that. So, okay. It was like, I would really just lie because everybody else was lying.
Got you.
Yes.
You wanted to you wanted to do lie too,
Yeah.
just like them. Right.
It's like, oh, that's what we do?
Fit in,
Don't
follow
say
the rules,
that.
don't speak.
Say this.
Say this. You can't tell.
Yes.
Make sure you don't tell mommy this.
Yeah.
I would hear that from my
And I was
dad
just
all
like,
the time.
right. And it was like,
And when you have
well,
older
no.
cousins, you want to hang with them.
Well,
so
I think
you
I
wanna-
would lie to not be a tattletale. I'm not
Okay.
going to tell on anybody.
I'm not snitching. So now you got to make up a story
Exactly.
that covers the truth.
Exactly.
Correct.
But that was it. But it was like, to be honest about, like today, there's a lot of like bullying happening in schools and things like that. To lie about something that's happening at school, that was not going to happen. To lie about what me and my friends are doing outside. Why? I don't want to lie about that. I'm having fun.
Right.
Throwing that bottle was not having fun. Thanks for telling me that.
Right.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? It was like, I didn't want to lie about things that should just happen.
Right.
If you see inappropriateness,
Right.
to tell the truth about it. If it's
someone
about a
can
little
correct
kid,
me.
that parent might give you a dirty look.
Right.
Who the heck are you to tell my kid anything?
Oh.
Well, I'm the person that just witnessed this, and obviously you didn't. And I'm assuming, as a good parent yourself, if you had witnessed it, you would have said
You
the
would
same
react
words.
exactly.
And no, that's not how I would have reacted. you keep your mouth shut and you stay out of my kid's business.
But see, years ago you could. I grew up in the kind of neighborhood where if
You were supposed to watch
if Miss
everybody.
Fifine even saw us on the wrong side of the street, she was calling my grandmother, and before I got up the block, it was like, Fifine told me you could stand on the corner, you would look at her house. And it was petra. And I think the sense of community is gone, which is why the sense of education has gone down.
And the
We
sense
don't
of
know
honesty,
our neighbors anymore.
Family,
So
honesty,
many things.
community,
So many things
that
not
tight knit,
happening.
not having multiple generations in houses
Right.
other than under extreme financial duress.
Right. It should be common. My family grew up in North Philadelphia. My grandmother, my great grandmother, my uncle, and everyone lived in the same house. There were 2 kitchens, 3 floors, 6 bedrooms. Everyone gave grandmom the money to pay the rent, everybody's stipend. My great grandmother cooked, the other one did the laundry. It was an unrealistic world to me as I got older that people didn't do that.
Exactly.
I'm like, where's your grandma?
Exactly.
They're like,
that it didn't
what are you
happen
talking
that
about?
way. I don't know. She lives in somewhere else.
And hearing my father talk
Out of the
about
house
his
when you're
family.
18. Oh, you're 18. You're out of here.
And like even now, my parents, you know, they live in a home all by themselves and in the suburbs, and they're like, why don't you move back home? And I'm thinking, financially, my daughter's in college, I only have one. Why am I paying for a house by myself? They have a separate in-law suite. Maybe because I'm a little wild and different, I might not want to be downstairs for my parents. But in the idea,
And that's the only good reason.
grand scheme of things,
That's the only good reason.
that's the only thing. In the grand scheme of things, okay. Now, they do have property, you know, around the corner from them where my siblings happen to live. But in the idea behind money, they buy food all together. My dad gets 1 oil trip and splits it up. It's cheaper. He buys 1 cow, splits the cow up between the 3 houses. And everyone does so much better that way. And everyone is so much more informed that way about family. When I do something new in class, my mom's like, what'd you do? Oh, don't tell me. Oh, tell me. Oh, okay. Oh my God, what happened? You know, so it's like, it's me all over again, giving them the sense of information on a level that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
So I like the honesty.
That
because
builds communication
it
and trust.
does.
That's like
Trust.
foundational things
Trust, yes.
that we are missing today.
In American society, we are completely missing the honesty card in our hand or our bag of tricks.
Yes.
And you can't trust without being honest.
And we're missing it because we've been shown that people don't react well to honesty.
Yeah.
Therefore, don't give it to them.
But why is that? Why is that? Because they are not being honest with themselves.
It's behavioral
Start
training.
with self. But how do you start
Every
with telling someone
behavior
you can't handle
comes
honesty
from-
because you
from
have a
learning.
problem? That's hard.
All our behaviors are learned.
That's hard, Cam. You know it's hard to tell somebody, look,
It is.
you have a problem because you're just not being honest with yourself. Do you know how that sounds rolling off your tongue? I know how it sounds rolling off
sounds
my
harsh.
tongue. It does sound a little
sounds
harsh. And I always try to be creative with it. I'll say, is that really being honest?
Yeah.
You're really telling the truth instead of, now you know you're lying. And there's a big difference in how you say it, right?
The delivery.
The delivery.
I need to work on my delivery. I do. I agree with that.
It is.
You remind me of myself because I'm exactly 10 years older than you.
It
so
is often
you remind me
how
of
it
myself
says.
10 years ago.
Yes.
It is often how it's said.
You are already at the point that most people at 50 wish they could be at. So it'll just be more of an interesting growth
Thank you.
experience as getting to know you. Definitely. Definitely.